I'm going to begin by reading a poem that appeared in an Anglophone magazine in Paris called The Bastille. I'll get on to Tears in the Fence in a moment. But this has come out just recently. It's called Scattered Beads. The scattered seed pearls, beads of cancer, someone's pap smear, MRI, breast cancer, popsicle man, ice cream van. There's no little ice cream man inside your breast, your intestines, your heart brain. There's no treacle test tart with double cream for you. Take this bread and wine of body and holy blood, the Christ who bled for us, turn to his body whole. I have taken communion, but I have never communed. The sounds that rise from the smudge on the floorboards staging a scene to be played out on the disinfected linoleum tiles of OP rooms, people with their sounds waiting for it to happen. The brevity of the throat, the poem. Life-threatening, life-enhancing, life-lengthening. The bedside shrine is saint-like with orchids, a glass of water. Visitors to stay 5 minutes only. They want to hear the story but can't deal with the outcome. Who can? What do we say? What does the outcome come out of? Skin, hair, chaos, betrayal. Your little body cathedral is prone. Are you at peace? Asleep or in contempt of? In need, we are in need, needy, needlessly craving for. We haven't found the grace yet, the grandeur, the lesser to be with. We are burning our little picturesque performances as we go for fear. We are so afraid. The darker we go, the nearer we get. And still we don't know how to answer. The splinter, the components, piecemeal, temporal mosaic, shattered, scattered beads from torn necklines, we are confined to our rooms for fear. This is the texture of our faithlessness, our greedy, swollen, golden filaments. We don't answer the doorbell. We want to know who's on the line before we answer the phone. Our dreams twisting around the moon, the stars, our majestic real life, our single-minded wrath when it grows cold. Cold grows on a stem, its flower is bluish white. Tramp on to an unknown destination with bells and drums and a gong. Cup your hands around, clap your hands, hands offering a piece of. I have come from afar, you say, I have come so far for you. How far can you go, you ask, will you? What wave of love, of broken-hearted weariness, honeysuckle by the wayside, crucial memory of beauty that lingers between fingers, fingering the bed linens, hair, skin, chaos from before recounted memory when we were once so newborn and that endangered. I'd like to thank David for inviting me to read at this celebratory festival and to say bon anniversaire to Tears in the Fence. I first heard of Tears in the Fence through a flyer that was included in a magazine, a British magazine that I was subscribing to at that time, about 25 years ago. I don't remember the name of the magazine. I don't remember the words on the flyer, but I was attracted to it because it said within the pages, something like this, within the pages of Tears in the Fence you will find poets from, writers from the English-speaking world. And at that time, British publications published British poets, and American publications published American poets, with a few exceptions, of course. And Australian publications, South African publications, Indian, where were they? And here, in one magazine, you'd have poets from all over. So I want to congratulate David for taking a very big step in the fight against all these little islands, because we are poets and we do not belong on islands, no matter where those islands are or how big they are. We're too insular sometimes. I think artists and musicians have this problem less, but poets are stuck in there sometimes in their little islands. And so congratulations to David for
Here.
So that was the beginning of my love affair with Tears in the Fence. And it's still going on, 30 years and going on. I'm going to read from my latest collection, which is called In a Form of Suspension, and it's very passionately orange. On the outside, it's passionately verbal on the inside. because I'm passionate about the way words sound and the way they mean, and when you put them together they mean different things and they sound different ways, and I'm wild about grammar, so I do all kinds of things. I think if you can feel the music of this, then that's fine. I'm very happy, because I feel very strongly if the soul doesn't feel anything, the intellect has nothing to analyze. Perception. I'll read the first poem and the last poem and a couple in between. Perception. Heads flung back, their voices float. Looking back on it, I'm lying that I should see what bird tree, much less something you sounded urgent, barely be above a whisper, so I cast you, faintly seen from afar, into doubt. You became open space, that lovely view shimmering across. It's only a leap, horseman in a sunbeam, but it feels so true. I'm charmed and wavy, associated with emerald, sapphires, fire, and opals, like an agitated lover, an outsider, taut and incandescent, sucking words out of speeches. There's confusion in the sequence of events in this part of the country. It slips, or does it swell, slippery in a swell swoon? Having it done for you is not to you, unclaimed, homebound. An embrace has stunned me, rehearsal laughter, rooms in the infinitive where the plot is poured on. I become rough and take on polyps, a poetic line. Tomorrow and finally I walked into the red room in a frenzy. Your confessions too were weary and lapsed, hitting the floor hard. Otherwise this stone, this curved breast, or paintbrush, or strand of hair descends layers of mating calls, the sutures aching. A word like chaperone stripped bare extends an intimate droplet. Lusterless and amiss, the beauty of it. Unmistakable. Imperceptibly and without realizing, we splayed kiss marks on all the rooms, thus reinventing appealing spaces. Without a backward glance, without you noticing, I turned around to admire these melodramatic noises. What stars unraveling, what misgivings, feathery, clustered in veiled circumference, this nomadic sequence. Outskirts of a hastened ride spell a textural thicket. Shell, bone, feather, bare chest, hair pigment, flared-out reflections, lizards and chalk, cranes native of Flanders, a bellyful wielding caught in. Part of this is panting, tepid and predetermined, like a nasal voice or the shape of a palm of a hand, and part is clenched in accordion folds, opening over the linear lowlands of agitated seafowl. But what downy bracelet of crotch, pelvic burrows slide. What meticulous soft impressions happened that night. Clock version. Soul and flesh remember foreign cities to the extent that it is pragmatic to play the role unabridged. Here is the sparkling neck of nations whose precious roots plunge and glisten, and the gold ring of useful destinies promising to comply. What shining needle presses against that straight, intricate tightening of delusion? What monument is underlined by the identical pauses of the unraveled, forgotten undulations of children? The ultimate importance, like the silverware of our lungs, snaps the heart-shaped centerpiece into unaccustomed place. Bells poised in the steeple dare the scythe of the evening's darkest blue to transect exactly the unmatched beauty of our hour. Excuse me. The next poem is called Helsinki, because I like the name. Helsinki. It's just Helsinki. Overseas tears cast a shining darkness, an unaccomplished jangling, muffled under water. I am clasped in the immense fingers of the rustling hour. He sails the emerald bliss, careless of the siren's prickling, unmoving eyelids, that blue momentary dazzle, flanked by colors of unbridled passion and songs that leave a feathery green stain. The allure of catching sight of is the perishable impact of longing. A stealthy mouthful slips past the lapping shoreline intact. That appeared in Tears in the Fence a while back, and so did this. This is called 39 Fragments on a Pebble Beach, and you can read them however you like because they're fragments. There's no connection one to the other, unless you want there to be. And you could skip around. You could read all of them, or you could read only some of them. And they're not found poems. They weren't found on a pebble beach. I put them on the pebble beach. And I'll skip around. A cello, instead of remembrance, is supposedly a yellow device. Mimosa is composed of Seville. Sincerity is equally rated with chamber activity. The oboe is the flamenco's counterattack. The history of rainstorm is a naked door. The waiter will be back, scuffed and literary, granting the acceptable. That takes place in Paris, of course. Outlandish taste is as modern as bedrock. Impulsive tensions are perishable. Mirth is a splinter bleeding delicately. Forsythia is an abundant skirt in a trance. Meteor and moss are accidental gems with an affinity for similitude and radiance. Note the diligent scent of polished underwater corruption. Fever implies enterprise. A constant bond is alarming. All right. Consider the fragility of arias, the pizzicato arrangements, the vinyl electronic. Consider the vanished ballad hiding what we remembered, the impeccable classical instruments, a desirable torso and throat, the tambourine's shrill shiver in a refrain, the burst of a bell's sweeping gesture, the rush of breath reinforcing a chorus, my mouth spouting words like tassel, syntax, shellac. Don't you just love the sound of the word shampoo, sponge? This is called Yet Untitled. The moment I learned the native major sign, I wanted to seal its newness within me. I wanted to follow its efforts across expansive, silent openings, trying the whole appealing peak and sounding a note to end harm. I wanted to burn the ugly nets of torn organdy and beaded months. I wanted to explore the desire engine of wild animals and absorb the background. I wanted to lie at the bottom of a lush rare concerto in a tight open shirt and uncover the break, that powerful and complicated orchestra pit break of the body, the final body unknown in art until the red-struck hour when artists landscape real skin to include each jumpy point that inclined them to to attention and compassion in the first place. I wanted to unleash brash themes. I wanted their warped gleam to hold me cleft to my own light. I wanted to allow, I wanted to point out, to flame and retreat, to form, record, to tighten the edge. I wanted to retort the atrocious alchemy of departure. I wanted to sing a cold, blurred romance with subtle, seldom feelings. I wanted birdsong. I wanted time, more time. I'll close with the last poem in the book, which is for my husband of many years, as everything is for him, for Christian, who couldn't be here today. It's called Reflections Upon an Agitated Hello. Is the course ahead untimely, with its frantic chiming, with its frantic trimmings of flounces, lace, artistic stripes, clenched pleats, diamonds in places trying to damage the glass? I find small looped arrangements of syncopated streams in the sensitive theater where our breath flows like liquid. A lifted voice becomes our solid horizon. The steady skin of our language is trees, hillside, smoke, water, and the entire outdoors displays its wings to us alone. Our flare will return in profile when might blossoms in mystical hunger and is caught again in a dance. The jewel of anger dips, the bell embraces mercy. Your face is taller now, slender, and a slight sad reverse resides beneath the level drum of daily obligation. An accompanist can be inaccurate with her raw, soft blazing, but a finger in love marks each darkened fluttering where respect is safe and pleasure flamboyant. Deep kisses, oh, wet galaxy within our arms.